Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Plymouth Regional High School for today's NHIAA Division II girls basketball matchup between the 5-7 Manchester West Blue Knights and your 4-7 Plymouth Bobcats. As we welcome you inside today's coverage on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network, I'm Elliot Miller alongside Dan Salzer. And Dan, this Plymouth Bobcats girls team on a little bit of a struggle, a 4-game slide here. What do you think they need to do today to snap out of it?
Biggest thing as we get going here is finding those high percentage shots, those mid-range jumpers, really working that extended post outside the lane, find the elbow area. That's where they had a lot of their shots during their wins earlier this season. If they can move the ball quickly, get into those shooting spaces, they're going to have a good chance here this afternoon.
We've seen Jordan Levesque put up some numbers, but also take a lot of shots. Do you think she needs to distribute the ball to her teammates a little bit more?
It depends on if she gets in a rhythm early. If she can hit a couple of them, let her stay hot, let the shots come, because then you're going to pull out the defense there of West out to the perimeter, and it's going to open up more plays down inside in through the lane and those kind of backdoor cuts. So maybe give her 3-4 shots outside. If she can start hitting them or get comfortable into rhythm, let her continue the rest of the way. Otherwise, you got to see her kind of almost that pump fake and then distribute off quickly down on the counterattacks.
Plymouth Bobcats are missing a big player in senior Amanda Doherty today, and she's a threat from behind the arc. So I expect Gwen Merrifield and Molly Edmark really to drive through the paint, use those aggressive and bigger bodies to get those easy layups and get some easy points for the Bobcats, and have Levesque, that little dangerous floater we've seen early, and she can be nasty with that shot.
Yeah, again, you're going into a matchup against Manchester West. A rematch of last Monday down in Manchester is a tough loss for the Bobcats, 43-28, so you're going to take away pointers there. But if you can drive, get that defense to collapse, it's going to allow that dish outside, but really going to keep an eye on Molly Edmark and her ability to control inside the paint.
Molly Edmark, another senior in the starting lineup, Herman Sandhu and Molly Edmark, the two today, as they look to lead this Plymouth Bobcats team to their first win in 4 games, as one of those losses have come to the Manchester Blue Knights, and we'll send it down to our public address announcer, Mike Boyle.
Welcome this evening to Plymouth Regional High School for tonight's Division II matchup between the visiting Manchester West Blue Knights and your home team, the Plymouth Bobcats. During tonight's contest, please be positive in every aspect of the game. We expect sportsmanship from players, coaches, and fans. A couple of reminders before the start of tonight's game that smoking and the use of tobacco is prohibited in the school building and on all school grounds. In case of an emergency, please leave to the closest emergency exit. Thank you and enjoy the game. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Blue Knights. Number 4, Michaela Viziris. Number 10, Anaya Poulin. Number 12, Nyanquak Piak. Number 23, Olivia Culver. And number 24, Abuk Tang. Manchester West is coached by Justin Gorham. Now let's hear it for your home Plymouth Bobcats. Starting at guard, number 14, Olivia Homer. At forward, number 32, Erilyn Scroggins. At forward, number 12, Harmon Sandhu. At guard, number 33, Molly Edmark. And at guard, number 23, Jordan Levesque. Plymouth is coached by Dave Levesque. The officials working tonight's game are Mr. Jim Pressure and Mr. Joe LaFrance. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School, as the teams will go to their coaches for a final meeting, and a little bit of a mishap there. Manchester West is coached by Jerry Haynes. Sorry for that mistake right there, but just wanted to clarify. And any last thoughts today, Dan?
No, both teams just trying to end their skids. As you mentioned before in the pregame show, Plymouth on a 4-game skid. Manchester West on their own on a 2-game skid, just trying to find that rhythm here early to set up the flow of the game. Really look for those mid-range jumpers, and what we've seen from Plymouth in the past is to sprint the floor and try to wear down their opponent and get behind these defenses. And
the Bobcats will be in the white uniforms today, going left to right across your screens, and Manchester West in the blues as they start off with the ball. Long pass intercepted by Levesque, and Homer drops down and banks it in off the glass and misses. And Manchester West will get the rebound and reset.
Good idea, though. That's the aggressive play, trying to play that trap with Levesque.
Long pass right there made by Tang. Banks it in off the glass. Manchester West strikes first, 2-0. Levesque takes it down for the Bobcats. Edmark finds her in the corner. Back out to Homer. Edmark switching sides there. Back to Levesque. Homer in the corner. Tipped by a Manchester West player.
But you already see, Elliott, a lot more off-the-ball movement by the Bobcats here, trying to open up lanes against this zone.
Trying to get those high percentage shots like you talked about in the pregame. Very patient here, this Bobcat team looks early on.
I mean, it's an advantage of not having a shot clock here in the state of New Hampshire.
Edmark tries to find Sandu in the paint. She dishes it back out to Homer, who takes a 3 and airballs it, and it'll go out of bounds for a Manchester West ball.
But I like that. That's that low-high we talked about. It drops that defense down. Just a tough shot there for Homer on the wing.
Poulin takes control for the Knights into the corner. Back out to Culver. Poulin. Over to Vazarius. Good passing by the Knights, but Homer battles for it, and possession arrow is in the favor of the Bobcats, so they'll get the ball.
Yeah, just sneaking in there late, kind of playing that trap, allowing West to come in towards the free throw line and just kind of collapse in there and not allow passing lanes. But an errant turnover there on a pass out of bounds.
And another Plymouth turnover. Still 2-0. Manchester West with 6:15 left in the first, and another jump ball. This time it'll go Manchester West way.
Yeah, good work coming from Levesque, able to jump in there, tie up the ball, avoid contact with the hands, and not draw the foul.
Good movement by the Knights into the corner. Long shot right there by Culver, and no good, but they get the rebound. Back out Culver with it. Over to Vazarius. And Plymouth comes up with it. Erilyn Scroggins there. Homer over to Levesque. She finds Edmark at the top of the key. Pass almost intercepted there by Vazarius. Into the corner, Homer tries to find Scroggins, but it's intercepted, and looks like Tang stepped out of bounds there, so it will be a Plymouth ball still.
Yeah, Buck Tang able to read that passing lane, getting her hands down low in that bounce pass. It's a good setup there by the Bobcats. Avoid with the lack of height to go up in the air, try to go in that bounce down low. Just unlucky there for Plymouth.
Levesque finds Homer. Back to Levesque in the corner. Looking to find Edmark long, but can't do it.
Only had 3 shots total in this game.
Both teams being very patient. Plymouth really working the perimeter so far. Homer trying to find Scroggins. Back out to Levesque. She takes a 3, and nothing but net for Jordan Levesque. Plymouth takes the lead 3-2 with 5:15 here left in the first.
I think Plymouth got away with a kick ball there too in that last exchange. We talked about it. Levesque getting tested early. If she could stay hot, let her keep shooting from distance.
Vazaris now with it for the Knights. Stripped by Homer, but Vazaris recovers. Back over to Tang. Poulin taking control now. A lot of ball movement by both teams, but Manch West gets a tip pass and a nice shot right there by Vazaris. Manch West takes the lead 4-3.
Get her second bucket of the game, and that's just an unlucky break there for the Bobcats.
Almost had a turnover there as they tipped that assist pass. Levesque takes it now. She likes to shoot. Has a happy trigger finger.
Yeah, but I like to see a screen set up for her to kind of wrap off a pick and open up a better angle just in a little bit on the wing.
Edmark goes for the drive. And she'll get call.
Foul there on Manchester West. On Anya Poulin, the sophomore.
And subs coming in now. Looks like Molly Palumbo, Gwen Merrifield, and Elena Manson will come in now for the Bobcats. Merrifield immediately takes a shot from the corner and no good. Palumbo almost had the rebound, but it will be a Manch West ball.
Yeah, tough one there. Just to get enough height on it. But a good idea. Quick set there in the corner for the three-point attempt.
Poulin over to Tang. Tang finds Vizeris. Back to Tang, and she takes a shot and makes it. Nice shot right there by Abuk Tang.
First three-point of the game for West.
Edmark taking control. She dribbles by a few players, takes a shot, no good, and Tang comes up with it. Fast break here for the Knights. Tang pulls up, dishes it back out. Culver takes a three, and no good. Vizeris back over to Tang.
Can already see Blue Knights able to kind of get more comfortable offensively here.
Culver takes another one and no good off the backboard, and Elena Manson has the rebound. Bobcats down 7-3 here with just under 3.5 left to go in the first. Merrifield takes control. Long pass over to Levesque in the corner. She thought about taking that three. Interesting shot selection there, but she'll draw a foul and go to the line for two.
That's a perfect shot selection. You feel contact coming, throw it up, and get yourself to the line to shoot two. Culver does pick up the foul, her first, team second.
Levesque will make her first one as Olivia Homer checks back in for Molly Edmark. Levesque so far this year has been very good from the line as she makes both of them to shrink the Manchester West lead.
She's been hot. Knock on wood. She hasn't missed a shot yet. Had her one for one on the three-point line.
Poulin, nice pass to Tang, who goes all the way to the net but can't put it in. And Manchester West will reset. Long pass into the corner. Vizeris goes up, little floater, no good, but she'll get her own rebound, puts it back up, and no good. Manch West with another offensive rebound back behind the arc. Tang with it. Dishes it back out to Culver. Culver in the corner for Poulin.
Right now the Blue Knights just working better off the ball and following up every one of their shots. Plymouth just a little flat-footed defensively.
Good ball movement by the Knights. Poulin over to Vizeris. Vizeris drives, nice pass over to Pioch. But no shot there.
Yeah, Pioch just lost a handle off her hip there. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Vizeris had a shot attempt.
Well, either way, they called it a 3-second violation, but it was going to be a travel anyway for the turnover.
Levesque takes control for the Bobcats now. Trying to find someone, has no one open. Intercepted by the Blue Knights. And Poulin pulls up. And nice pass there over to Vizeris. No good though. Vizeris fumbles the own rebound. She'll pick it up, dish it back out to Culver. Culver takes a three. No good, and Olivia Homer on the rebound. Almost lost it there.
Looks
And
like we'll have
call.
A foul here on Manchester West.
Levesque, Coach Dave Levesque showing a little bit of frustration on the sideline.
Anya Poulin will pick up her second for the Blue Knights.
Levesque taking control for the Bobcats again. It's been her position since her freshman year. Homer finds Manson. Manson tried to find Levesque in the corner, but it's intercepted by Tang. Tang goes to the net. She takes it herself, and no good, but gets her own offensive rebound. And it will be a jump ball. Possession is in favor of the Bobcats.
We're starting to see Manchester West, Elliott, work more in those lanes, driving to the basket at the post play here. We saw it after that last turnover, the previous possession. It was a shift over, a double team on the near side post that left the shot open on the back door. Lucky for Plymouth, it was a miss. They've got to be careful of how far they're shifting over.
Homer, another pass tipped by her. Merrifield finds Levesque in the corner. She takes a three and no good off the front of the rim. And Vizaris with the rebound. And they'll get a travel call, so it will be a Plymouth ball.
Already put the commentator's curse on Levesque. Just said her a moment ago, hasn't missed yet. Had the three-pointer early ahead in both of her free throws. Now her first miss of the day. But again, she's staying hot. She's getting open because of that overload on the near side. That skip pass is open for her every time in the last three possessions.
And Molly Palumbo will check in for Levesque. Homer finds Merrifield. Merrifield, long pass over to Edmark. Edmark drives into the paint and stops, but finds Merrifield. She takes a long three, and good as Plymouth takes the lead with 40 seconds to go in this first quarter.
See that developing for days. I would like to see that pass quicker, though, out top.
Tang taking control. She drives through the paint and is stopped, but takes the shot. And she'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, they're going to call Edmark there. She never had her feet planted. She got a brunt of that contact. But a nice job there by Tang to continue through on the shot attempt and get to the line.
Manch West will go to the charity stripe for the first time today as Tang makes her first one to tie this one up. And she will make both of them. She's 2 for 2 from the line today. Quick passing by the Bobcats, and Merrifield misses that shot. Tang with the rebound. Back up to Culver. Culver pulls up, finds Tang. Back over to O'Neill, getting her first minutes of the day. And right there, shot by Sharon. Misses. Time is coming down. Edmark over to Homer. She takes a shot, and no good as time expires, and the Bobcats find themselves down 9-8 at the conclusion of the first quarter. And welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School as we welcome you back inside today's broadcast coverage on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network as the Plymouth Bobcats find themselves down by 1 after that first quarter. And Dan, what did you see and what do you think they could improve on?
Plymouth came out aggressive, good defense to start, getting those tie-ups and the jump balls. But it was Manchester West adapting to that situation as we have another traveling call here to start the second quarter to penetrate in towards the post, in towards the lane, and got chances in down low. It was poor shooting on both teams in the first, but the chances have come for the visitors. Plymouth have to settle in offensively.
Bobcats with control now after that travel call as Homer's shot is blocked and recovered by Tang. Tangs finds Poulin. Poulin back out, and Vizaris will take a three and miss. O'Neill had a chance to get that rebound, but Homer on the quick break. Homer pulls up, finds Levesque. Levesque makes a move. Good passing by Levesque. She finds Sandhu in and off the glass as Bobcats take the lead 10-9.
That's that cut there. It brings the ball watching over for Manchester West for that backdoor cut across the lane. That's the attack Plymouth needs here this afternoon.
Poulin back to O'Neill. Good passing right there as Poulin finds Vizaris, and she makes it in for two. A back and forth game here in the second quarter. Long pass by Levesque off the fingers of Sandhu, and it will be a Blue Knights ball.
Gotta watch out for Vizaris. Already 6 points this game, a game high 6. So watch her really working down low in that post, and that post extended. She's able to draw that double team. It's going to open up some outside perimeter shots with an open player for Manchester West.
Poulin finds Vizaris, who dishes it back out to Tang, who takes the three. And that's good for Manchester West as they extend their lead to 4.
Tang perfect, 2 for 2 from downtown.
Long pass by Edmark over to Homer. Edmark finds Levesque in the corner, almost intercepted. Levesque takes a long two and no good, and Tang's there to get the rebound for the Blue Knights, but she'll be called for a travel. 2 early travel calls in the second quarter.
Plymouth just has to see that skip pass sooner. It's getting nice back out of the top of the key, but you've got to have the strength to just quickly get it over there. You wait that half second. Now the Knights know the perimeter game, and they're setting up for these steals here as of late.
Levesque takes a mid-range jumper and will miss, and O'Neal taking control for the Blue Knights. She finds Poulin, who almost loses it, but takes it back out. O'Neal in the corner. Poulin over to Vaziris. Back to Tang.
Bobcats in a modified 1-3-1 right now.
Shot there by O'Neal is no good. Bobcats trying to shrink the lead. Merrifield pass intercepted, but Homer will recover for the Bobcats. Homer looking for someone to pass to, has no one. Finds Merrifield. Merrifield over to Levesque. Back to Merrifield. Homer in the corner. And Tang is all over that one, but she'll step out of bounds and will be a Bobcat ball.
Plymouth just can't get penetration inside down low towards the extended post area. You've got to move. You've got to draw that zone out. If you're going to work against that zone baseline, you've got to move it quick and attack that baseline to the basket to get behind the defensive side.
Levesque tried to find Scroggins on the baseline and no good. A lot of errant passes by the Bobcats today. They find themselves down by 4 with 5:24 left in the first half, but Levesque takes a long shot off the top of the backboard. And Poulin on a quick break for the Knights. She goes up and misses the layup. And Sandhu will be fouled. Looks like that will be on Poulin.
Already her third personal foul. Team's fourth here in the half.
It's one thing the Bobcats have done well so far, stayed out of foul trouble, as we've seen them struggle with that in past games.
Knock on wood for sure on that one.
Levesque taking control for the Bobcats now.
But Levesque's gone cold. She's missed her last 4 shots. So now it's a time to draw that double team and dish it off.
Levesque finds Manson in the paint, back out to Levesque. Tried to find Palumbo, but that pass is tipped. Lucky that wasn't a turnover as they knocked it out of bounds, and it will still be a Bobcat ball.
Yeah, West has kind of gone into a 2-1-2 zone here to protect the lane area, forcing Plymouth to pour percentage shots outside.
Long pass by Levesque over to Merrifield. Merrifield takes the 3 and off the front of the rim, and it will be Culver who gets the rebound for the Knights.
There's a great skip pass, great hand-to-hand with pace, just coming up short on the shots. And you wonder, with the odd time, with the sickness really going around the state of New Hampshire right now with the flu, how much that's affecting both of these teams here on shooting.
Sarin had the ball, but Manson stole it, and Homer comes up with it. Homer, long pass over to Merrifield. Nice baseline drive by Merrifield, and she'll get the and one as Plymouth looks to shrink the lead to a 1-point game with 4:15 left here in the first half.
Great work there by Merrifield. She recognized the one-on-one presence and the post extended on the near side, had that little pump fake, drove baseline, got up. Yes, it was a basket, but drew that contact to get to the line.
Nice move by Merrifield there as she does make the free throw, and it will be a 3-point play for the Bobcats.
She's got 6 points here this afternoon for her side.
O'Neal, good move. She drives. Good pass over to Sarin. Sarin can't get the shot off, and it will be another jump ball. Possession arrow is in favor of the Bobcats.
I think they called a 3-second violation instead. So the arrow will stay with Plymouth.
Long pass over to Merrifield in the corner. She takes a long 3 and airballs it. Palumbo's there to rebound it. Back out to Homer. Homer finds Levesque. Levesque takes the 3 now, and no good. Palumbo almost had the rebound there, but it will go out of bounds. Will be a Bobcat ball. Homer can't find anyone, and she'll get called. Another turnover for the Bobcats in the Manchester West zone.
So far, Plymouth only 2 for 10 from behind the arc. This is where they get themselves in trouble this season. They've got to protect inside and attack the basket, especially with 5 fouls against Manchester.
Culver's pass is tipped, but Vaziris recovers. She takes a shot and is no good. Gets her own offensive rebound. And it looks like that will be Saren who was fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. That is the Bobcats' second foul of the half.
Yeah, Maya Palumbo, the junior, picking up her first personal.
And Saren will miss her first one.
Still looking for her first points this afternoon.
As Nyunika Piak will check in. And she will miss both. Manson on the rebound. Just under 3.5 minutes left in this one as the Bobcats are down by 1. Manson battling for it on the ground. She comes up with it, tries to get it out to Homer, but Tang comes up with it. She finds Culver in the corner. She resets.
That's a good work, though, by Plymouth to continue to attack inside. So we'll have a timeout on the floor.
And that's a timeout by Manchester West. And with 3:03 left in the first half, the Bobcats are down 14-13. And welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School for today's coverage on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network. As the Plymouth Bobcats find themselves only trailing by 1 in a close game here, with just over 3 minutes left in the first half, as Michaela Vaziris will take control for the Knights. She finds Culver. Both teams were being very patient early on, but a lot of shots taken since then. Right there wide open is Vaziris, and no good. Palumbo was on the rebound as she stepped out of bounds. It will be a Blue Knights ball.
Vaziris 0 for 2 from behind the arc here in the second quarter, and the day only 2 points for her in this second quarter.
Nice pass there to Piak. That shot is no good. Homer almost came up with it, but Levesque finds it in her hands. Quick break for Levesque. She goes up and is fouled and will draw the and one. Trying to make it a 3-point play for the Bobcats.
That's what I want to see out of Levesque, is attack the basket, use her speed, use her veteran presence for her this Bobcat side, and draw the fouls. And now you have your opponent in foul trouble with 2.5 minutes to go here in the half.
And Levesque will make it a 3-point play.
She's now perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line this afternoon.
And Levesque can be such a dangerous player when she really gets on a roll. And we saw early on she was on a little bit of a hot streak, but cooled a little bit down since then. Nice pass over to Vaziris. She pulls up. Back to Tang. Tang takes the 3 and no good. That one will go out of bounds for a Bobcat ball.
First miss for Tang from behind the arc officially. Officially, unofficially, I should say, with the notes up here.
Levesque finds Edmark. Long pass over to Merrifield. Merrifield finds Levesque in the corner. Good battle by Edmark. Palumbo trying to come up with it, but Vaziris will get it. She goes and drives towards the net, blocked by Merrifield. Almost looked like she stepped out of bounds, but no call there. Long pass by Edmark to Merrifield in the corner. She tries to find Manson, but it's intercepted by Piak. Manson gets it back, but the Blue Knights will still come up with it. Back Culver now drives, goes up, and no good. She airballs it. Vaziris back out to Saren, no good. And a timeout on the floor called by Coach Dave Levesque as the Bobcats find themselves down by 2, 16-14 with 1:20 here left in the first half. And welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School as the Bobcats have the ball here. Edmark finds Sandu, who's back in the game. Levesque in the corner takes a 3 and no good. The Blue Knights come up with it. Vaziris on a breakaway, and she makes the easy layup with just under a minute here to go in this one.
It's her first points in the game since the opening, the opening basket of the second quarter.
Edmark finds Merrifield. Blue Knights are playing tight defense here on the Bobcats today. Edmark in the corner. She finds Levesque back outside. Long pass into Merrifield. Another errant pass by Levesque, and it's tipped out of bounds by Tang.
I don't know so much of an error, just trying to cut in that back door, but you're kind of telegraphing the passes. They know it's going to be a skip pass some way. Now you got to get deception, get that second cut to open up that lane.
Yeah, smart play there by Levesque as she had no one and bangs it off of Tang's thighs to get the call.
But either way, I know it's low scoring, 16-16 with exactly 37 seconds to go. But you look back on last Monday, it was a 43-28 loss for the Bobcats on the road. They're doing great hanging in here against a tough West team.
Merrifield takes the three, airballs it, and that's Pioch who comes up with it. Long pass up to Culver. Culver drives towards the hoop, and that one's no good. Merrifield on the rebound. And a foul will be called on Pioch. Looks like she almost clipped Merrifield there. This one's tied 16-16, and since Manch West does have 7 fouls, Plymouth is in the bonus, and Merrifield will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
Anna Pioch with her first personal foul.
And Merrifield will make her first one.
Perfect 2 for 2 from the line here this afternoon is Merrifield.
As Olivia Homer checks in for Erilyn Scroggins. (17-16) here with just over 20 seconds left in the second quarter as Merrifield sinks both of those. Plymouth's been nice and sharp from the charity stripe today. Time's ticking away as Tang trying to get a shot off. She dishes out to Vizeris. Levesque on the rebound. Maybe a last shot opportunity. 4 seconds left. Levesque pulls up, little floater, no good. Edmark gets it, but no shot attempt right there. She couldn't get it off. And the Bobcats find themselves down by 2 here on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network. We'll be right back with the second half. And welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School for today's coverage on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network as the Bobcats find themselves with a 2-point lead entering this second half. And Dan, what did you see in the first half?
Yeah, it was just really the shooting. It was kind of poor by both teams, to say the least. Plymouth finished the first half 23.8% from the floor, but only 16.6 from behind the arc. Looking at those final numbers, 2 of 12 in that first half. On the other side, Manchester West, they were trying to find numbers, 23.1% from the floor, 25 from behind the arc, but we're only 2 for 4 from the free throw line, where Plymouth were 6 for 6. That's what's kept the Bobcats in this game, is getting the fouls, getting to the basket, and getting to the line.
Long pass by Edmark over to Homer in the corner. She gets trapped. 2 Manchester West defenders on her, and they'll come up with it. Tang, 2v1, nice passing by the Knights, and 2 points for them as they tie this one up with 7.5 left here in the third quarter.
Tang now with a game-high 10 points. There were 4 players to start the second half with 8 points, 2 for each team.
Edmark finds Levesque. Plymouth trying to find some more high percentage shots.
Yeah, you got to avoid that trap in the corner. Instead of throwing it out, you might as well just take the timeout.
Levesque with a long 3 and no good. Scroggins battling for it in the corner, and she gets the offensive rebound. Long pass by Homer over to Levesque, and she had to battle for that one. Good move by Levesque, a little floater. 2 points right there for Jordan Levesque.
Say Levesque's better inside. She's only 1 for 6 from behind the arc here today.
And those are the type of shots that the Bobcats have to look for as the Blue Knights going left to right across your screen. Long shot right there, and it's good for Ania Poulin.
First points for her this afternoon. It's a big shot, a high percentage from outside.
And Levesque's pass is intercepted by Culver. Culver takes it herself. No good, but gets the offensive rebound. Dishes it back out to Poulin. Air ball. And it will be a Bobcat ball.
It's got to avoid the wings. We'd like to see the Bobcats get more screens up top, kind of work towards the top of the key, and out towards the perimeter and avoid the wings and avoid the corners in that trap game.
Almost a travel there by Edmark, but able to keep her foot off the ground as she finds Homer. Back to Edmark, long three from the top of the key. No good. But Piak on the rebound.
That's the shots they've got to take, is work it in, work it out top so you have a better angle on the basket.
Vaziris taking control back to Culver. No good. But Blue Knights, excellent offensive rebounding by them today.
That's one of the few stats I haven't been able to track.
Culver over to Tang, and that's good for three. The Blue Knights extend their lead to 4, 24-20 with just under 5:30 left in the third quarter. And it will be a timeout. We'll step aside here on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network. And we are back here at Plymouth Regional High School as the Bobcats will take control, down by 4 with just under 5.5 left to go in the third. And Edmark's pass almost goes out of bounds, but Homer able to recover it. Long pass to Scroggins. She battles for it. It's a jump ball that will go in Manchester West's favor.
It's that late slide by West to forcing to kind of entice Plymouth to go in towards the elbows. And it's that quick slide as soon as that pass comes to shut down the angle.
Good pass to Vaziris, but she can't get a shot off. Back to Vaziris. Culver's there to get the offensive rebound. Scroggins gets it. Edmark will take control for the Bobcats. Some subs coming in for the Bobcats, it looks like. Edmark finds Homer, finds Scroggins. And that one a little bit too hard for Scroggins as it goes out of bounds.
But it's a good design play. It's that bounce pass. You're working in, you're working back out. Not quite the triangle passing that you need in the offensive setup, but it's the bounce to avoid hands. It's just a little bit tough, like you talked about, Elliott, and off the hands out of bounds.
Tang fakes the pass. Good move by her. Ziris drives, and no good. But Piak, using her size, try and battle, but Edmark gets it and finds Levesque. And the Bobcats will take control.
Great hustle there by Plymouth.
Long two by Levesque, and no good. Culver gets the rebound, but Manson will come up with it. Tough play by Manson. Bounces it off her foot, and West will take control. Tang takes another three. No good. Piak using her size again. But Manson will win that one.
First miss for Tang here in the third quarter.
Long pass by Levesque over to Edmark. She switches sides to Merrifield. Merrifield makes a move over to Edmark. Edmark finds Levesque in the corner. She takes a contested three. Nice shot there by Jordan Levesque to shrink the lead to 1.
First three-pointer for Levesque since the first quarter. Her first shot of the game.
Good pass right there to Vaziris. She misses her shot, but Piak gets the rebound. Culver. That's good for Culver as Manch West extends their lead 26-23 with 3:25 left in the third.
First points of the afternoon for Culver.
Almost intercepted there by Vaziris.
Culver was 0 for 8 going into that shot.
Long pass by Merrifield over to Levesque. Bobcats working the perimeter. Baseline drive, no good for Merrifield. Tang, quick break, good pass to Vaziris, and she makes the easy layup as West extends their lead 28-23.
Snuck behind Merrifield. Merrifield came up defensively, tried to protect out top, and it was an open basket down low at the post.
Edmark's pass almost dropped by Merrifield. But Edmark finds Manson in the paint, and her shot is blocked. Nice shot block by Piak. Levesque falls down, trying to come back up with it. Good move there by Poulin. Poulin back out to Culver. She is wide open, and no good for Culver, but Piak back out. And Poulin hits the three. Nice shot there by West. Looks like it will be a Bobcat timeout. They find themselves down 31-23 with 2:14 left here on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network. And we are back here at Plymouth Regional High School nearing the end of this third quarter. The Bobcats are over on their bench getting some harsh words from Coach Dave Levesque. They are starting to trail a little bit more here. But this team has some fight. It certainly is not over.
A lot of fight from Plymouth this season, but it's tough when Manchester West right now are 3 for 5 from downtown here in the third quarter alone.
You see Jordan Levesque is on the bench now. Palumbo checked in for her, and that pass is intercepted by Saren.
Saren got away with an arm around there trying to protect it.
Good move by Poulin. Back over to Culver. Culver, high pass. Ziris was unable to get that one. Time is ticking. Just under a minute 45 here left in the third. Merrifield has it for the Bobcats. Nice pass by Homer to find Manson in the paint. No good for Manson, but Palumbo, and her shot almost rolls out, but that'll be good for the Bobcats. 31-25 with a minute 20 left in the third quarter. Culver with it for the Knights now. Wide open shot there for Poulin. No good. Homer with the rebound, trying to get a quick break for the Bobcats.
Really feel the energy picking up here in the third quarter.
Long shot by Merrifield, airballed, but Manson's there. Homer over to Edmark. Looking for someone. She finds Merrifield. Merrifield makes a move, finds Edmark in the corner. Edmark drives. Palumbo's there and is fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
It's a good move. I thought there was going to be a foul call before on the shot coming from Manson, but nevertheless, dish down low, and this is what Plymouth needs to do. They need to get to the line here the rest of the way.
Palumbo's first chance from the charity stripe tonight. She'll make her first one. Shrink that Manchester West lead to 5.
Buck Tang picking up her first personal foul. Team's first foul here in the second half, to believe it or not, with 40.5 seconds to go. Very disciplined second half so far.
And Jordan Levesque is back in for the Bobcats now.
Palumbo, 4 points here late in the third quarter.
Ziris takes a long shot. No good, but she'll get her own rebound. And she'll get called for a travel and can't believe it.
Yeah, she thought there was a hack there, and it was kind of a 50-50 call. Goes in favor of Plymouth.
25 seconds left. Plymouth doesn't look to be getting that last shot. They're going right at the basket, but stolen there by Poulin. Poulin, long pass up to Vaziris, and Levesque clutch steal by Jordan Levesque.
Great hustle from her coming back and reading that lane.
Levesque. Should have looked for a teammate there. Tried to do it all by herself.
I think she just lost balance and tried to keep herself upright and drew a questionable foul call, to say the least.
Fans were calling for a travel, but it will be a Bobcat ball. Long pass out to the top of the arc for Homer. She thought about it.
You lost your dribble, though.
Over to Palumbo. Palumbo drives, takes a shot as time expires. And here on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network, the Bobcats find themselves down by 4, 31-27. We'll be right back for fourth quarter action. And welcome back to Plymouth Regional High School for the fourth quarter of this one, as the Plymouth Bobcats find themselves down by only 4 with a score of 31-27. Playing an excellent game, very disciplined today, only 2 fouls through the first 3 quarters. But this Manchester West Blue Knights team looks to be a tough challenge, as neither team looks to be giving up. Erilyn Scroggins checks back in for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Elliot, a strong third quarter for Manchester West. A game high 15 points in that quarter for them on 6 of 15 shooting, but more importantly, 3 of 7 from downtown.
Levesque in the corner. She's trapped. She finds Homer. Plymouth taking their time. Levesque makes a move, a long floater by Levesque, and that's a rebound. Sandu comes up with it. Good offensive rebound by the Bobcats. Levesque resets, but she looks to do it herself, drives, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Said it time and time again. Jordan Levesque, as a junior, is better when she attacks the lane, she attacks the alleys, and draws fouls and gets towards the basket rather than outside shooting.
Oh boy, does she like to take that three-pointer, though. Has a happy trigger finger, but she's been excellent from the charity stripe today.
Yeah, perfect 4 for 4 so far.
Bobcats only down by 3 here. And Levesque will miss her second, her first miss of today. Another announcer jinx there, Dan.
Yeah, I kind of have a tendency of doing that, don't I?
Poulin takes control for the Knights. Nice shot there by Vaziris. And that'll be good for 2 points for Manchester West.
We talk about Levesque. Only 2 for 8 from behind the arc here this afternoon.
Merrifield with it now. Finds Homer in the corner. Back out to Levesque. Bobcats are being very patient here, trying to find those high percentage shots. They've struggled to do that today. Good move by Homer. She drives towards the hoop. Little floater is no good. Nice pressure there by Homer on Pioch to force that ball to go out of bounds. So it would be a Plymouth ball.
But it's that drive towards the edge of the lane.
And Levesque from the corner for 3. The Bobcats are right back in this one, down by 2 with 6:30 left. Wide open shot there for Poulin. No good, but Pioch's there. Get the offensive rebound. And Sandu will come up with it.
I'm going to call the foul under the basket there, though, against Plymouth.
Their first foul of the half, believe it or not.
Only, I believe, 3rd of the game. Sandu's first.
And Pioch will make her first one.
9 o'clock Pioch. Her first made bucket of the day. Only had one other shot back in the second quarter officially.
And she will make both of them to extend Manchester West's lead 2-4.
But it's her defensive plays that have been outstanding for the Blue Knights.
Homer over to Merrifield. Back to Levesque. Homer trying to make a move but can't get around Vaziris. Nice pass by Levesque to Scroggins in the paint, who banks it in off the glass for 2. Plymouth within striking distance now. Good defense by Levesque. Tried to strip that one away from Poulin, but it'll roll out of bounds.
Yeah, great move on the other side, though, by Scroggins. There's a good feed, waiting inside at the post, easy layup. Because of that defense was spread out from so many of those outside shots, Manchester West just got to pack it in a little bit more.
Long shot there by Poulin, no good, but Tang has it. She'll go back up and is fouled on the way. And she'll go to the line for 2, as that is Plymouth's second team foul in this half. Second this quarter.
Tang 2 for 2 so far from the line this afternoon, both of them coming in the first quarter.
And she will make her first one.
Scroggins picking up her first personal foul.
4 for 4 from the line tonight is Tang. Levesque in the corner now. Merrifield taking control.
Starting to see Plymouth overload a little bit more like we saw in the first quarter. That opened up these lanes.
Levesque with a contested shot, but Manch West will come up with the rebound. And Tang will draw the and one as they extend their lead 37-33 with just under 5.5 here left in this one, as Edmark, Palumbo, and Manson will check in.
Yeah, again, it's that quick break that we were expecting Plymouth to have throughout this game, and over the top, right down in the paint at that near post, and it's just difficult to defend on anything on that speed out on the counter.
And Tang is back to the line, and that's a three-point play there.
Yeah, 5 points for her this quarter.
Merrifield thought about shooting it, but gives it to Levesque instead. Long pass by Levesque into the corner for Edmark. Edmark takes it back out and finds Merrifield. Almost lost it, but Merrifield takes the three. No good, but Manson on the offensive rebound. Throws it back up. And it will be a jump ball, and that will go in Manchester West's favor.
Yeah, tough one there for Manson. Kind of got some collision inside and on the body as well, but no foul call. Just goes for a tie-up.
Under 5 minutes now in this one. 9-point game as the Blue Knights do lead. Poulin drives, but that's stolen by Edmark. Levesque now for the Bobcats, finds Merrifield. Thought about taking the three. Over to Edmark, she does. And that'll go in for Molly Edmark of the Plymouth Bobcats to shrink West's lead to 4.
It's our first bucket of the afternoon, and what a clutch time to have it. Keeps the game alive for Plymouth.
Manchester West looking to retaliate as Tang drives towards the hoop, goes up and is blocked by Merrifield. And she disagrees with that call.
Yeah, tough one, but Merrifield caught the arm. I want to see, though, Palumbo slide sooner across the paint, come over and get that double team there and get the hand straight up. If she got there sooner, it's going to allow Merrifield to kind of also get the hands up and protect the edge of the basket.
And Tang is back at the line. She'll make her first one. And off the front of the rim for a second. Good rebound by Manson. Nice job to come up with it for the Bobcats.
Tang 6 for 7 from the line here today.
Levesque off her foot. Comes back up with it and is out of bounds.
But I love her determination there, Levesque. Is leading this team, never giving up. It kind of feeds into your teammates and continues the drive there, and you're keeping the game close. It's only a 5-point game.
Time is running down as we enter this last half of this fourth quarter. Culver drives, bobbles it, but will be a travel call, and it will be a Blue Knights ball.
Yeah, Levesque frustrated with that, but it's true. She came off of her knees, came up, was sliding, so it's an easy call for the travel there.
And that'll be a timeout called by Coach Dave Levesque as we'll step aside. And welcome back to Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network as we have a close one here as the Bobcats find themselves down by 5, 41-36 with 3:42 left in the fourth quarter. Dave Levesque giving his team, drawing up something for his team for the last couple minutes of this one. They're looking to come back. Don't want to lose to this team twice in a season, but they look much better today.
Don't want to lose to the team twice in 8 days, really, as well, but you're keeping it closer against that 5-point game, and you're playing much better defense that you have over the course of the season. It's starting to come together for this young Bobcat team.
Poulin now for the Knights. Over to Culver. Good defense by Levesque.
Oh, they're going to call the foul and not the tie-up.
That will be foul on Levesque. Looks a little bit frustrated. Wanted a possession call. Poulin inbounds it. Pioch, nice pass. No good there for Pioch. But she Dishes it back up, 43-36 here, just over 3 minutes. Bobcats starting to fall behind a little bit more. Merrifield finds Manson, but her shot is blocked. Pioch using her size.
Nyona Kwok-Pioch with her 4th block here today. That's the defense she brings for this Blue Knights team.
Long pass. Merrifield, top of the arc, makes a move, finds Manson, but almost intercepted by Tang. Back out to Levesque, who takes the 3. No good. And it'll go out of bounds for a Plymouth ball.
Again, the high passes, these lob passes, that's where they've been intercepted here against Plymouth. You've got to go back to that bounce. You've got to drive, not give up the dribble. Drive, kick it outside for those open shots.
Merrifield takes control now for the Bobcats. We hit the 3-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Levesque, Homer in the corner. Bobcats are being very patient. Levesque finding Homer in the corner again. Homer back out to Edmark. Long pass, almost intercepted by Poulin, and Levesque hits the 3. Clutch shot there by Jordan Levesque to make it a 2-score game.
She's warming up again, 2 for 4 this quarter from downtown. It's a 2-possession game.
Blue Knights looking to retaliate. Nice move by Tang. She drives, lost control. It'll go out of bounds for a Bobcat ball.
But it was Manson reading that, sliding over. We had that open backdoor cut, but it wasn't expected, forcing that turnover.
Edmark now over to Manson. Levesque heating up now as 2 minutes passes by. Homer wide open in the corner, airballs it, and Tang double teamed. Excellent defense there by Merrifield and Manson. And a timeout there by Manchester West as we'll step aside here on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network.
Welcome back, fans, here inside Plymouth Regional High School. Fans of Bobcat Nation, tune in tomorrow evening as wrestling will be back home here inside the gym, taking on Conval. Duel starts at 6 p.m. Catch all the coverage at 5:55 right here on Pemmy Baker TV and the Granite State Sports Network.
We have an exciting one here. 4-point game with under 2 minutes left. Lindsay Betts is in now for the Bobcats. Some fresh legs out there for Coach Dave Levesque.
Yeah, you need the speed. You're going for the full court press. You've got to start fouling here. You've got fouls to give.
Culver takes control for the Knights. Back over to Poulin. And Edmark will foul. Team's 4th of this half, 5th, excuse me.
Only her 2nd. No one in foul trouble for Plymouth.
Played a very disciplined game today. And Betts will foul.
That's pretty much why Betts is in, with her speed and her agility. No fouls. Now you've got 1 to give before bonus time. Still 2-possession game, 4 points. Culver
to Viziris, back to Culver. And Edmark will foul again.
But that's her 3rd. So now you know it's going to be Manchester West going to the line the rest of the way with the bonus with 1:37 to go. But Edmark's going to be the target. She's got 3. A little confusion at the bench, it looks like. But if the Blue Knights... So if Plymouth can avoid that and have Edmark switch off on the screens, we know the Blue Knights are going to attack there.
Looks like Manson will check back in for Betts.
So we're going to have the likes of Culver at the line. I believe first time at the line today for Culver.
Looking to extend that lead. Culver will miss, and nice rebound by Manson. She's had a few of those today. Manson finds Levesque. Good movement by Levesque, and she will be fouled there by Vaziris, as the Knights also have fouls to give too.
Yeah, plenty of fouls. They've got 2 more to give before bonus time for Plymouth, but really no need for that because now you stop the clock and allow Plymouth to set up an offense here on the near side with a short cord to work with.
43-39. It's a close one here at Plymouth Regional High School as Levesque inbounds it to Homer. Don't have too much time. Levesque drives and goes up and will be fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. Nice job there by Jordan Levesque to draw a foul. She's been excellent from the line today.
4 for 5 so far this afternoon.
Trying to shrink this lead, possibly make it a 1-score game as she makes her first one.
And does so. 3 points with a minute 19. Bobcats hanging right in there at home. Again, both teams looking to stop some skids. Plymouth on a 4-game skid.
And nice job by Levesque to make it a 2-point game for the Bobcats. Minute 15 here left in this one. Good passing by the Knights.
Yeah, that's how you break up a full court press with quick passing in that triangle.
Culver now for the Knights.
Manchester getting away a little bit of a moving pick.
Being very patient, trying to waste as much clock as they can. No shot clock. Tang drives towards the hoop. Good dish over to Pioch, who makes it in for 2.
That's just a perfect setup there for the Blue Knights.
That could be the dagger for the Bobcats. Levesque, just over 30 seconds left. Don't have too much time. Levesque takes the 3. No good for Jordan Levesque. And Poulin will take it. And Merrifield fouls. So Poulin will go to the line as Manchester West is in the bonus.
Yeah, you've got to stop it, but just too much time wasted there by Plymouth. You've got to get shots early now. It's a 4-point game, potentially a 6. You've got to press quickly, get the 3s, stop the clock with a foul, hope that's a miss the other way to get another 3. You've got to move faster. You cannot waste a moment.
Poulin at the line now will miss. But nice job by Tang. Good move by her. No good, but she'll get her own rebound again. 15 seconds left. And Edmark will foul again.
Yeah, she had to. Just too much time wasted there by Plymouth.
Down by 4. It's Olivia Culver at the line now. But this Bobcats team has battled today, as Culver will miss, but Tang's there, and she will dish it out to Culver, and Homer fouls.
Yeah, you talked about it a moment ago, Elliot, is that this Plymouth team has battled back. You know, you give up 15 points in the third quarter. It looked like it was going to be a runaway in the second half with Manchester West, but you battled back. You pulled to within 3 a moment ago. This has been a great game and a lot of things to take away positively for both teams heading down the home stretch.
Culver misses and Pioch puts it back up. And that'll be all as the buzzer goes off and the Bobcats fall to Manchester West 47-41. Any last thoughts, Dan?
Just a great effort. I just love the tenacity by both teams. You saw them trying to play that chess game, outside shots, trying to work inside. It was a very clean game until the fouls. It really had to happen for both teams until the end to stop the clock. So you like that grit, just unfriendly rims for Plymouth, unfortunately, you know, struggling shooting, only 16% from behind the arc in the first half. A little bit better in the second half. We saw the likes of Jordan Levesque hit 2 from behind the arc here in the fourth quarter alone. She had 3 3-pointers in the second half, only had 1 in the first half of things that really kept her and her teammates in this game, but just too little too late. It's just the little things, you know, the inexperience. You can't always throw it over the top. The opponent's going to read that. That's where a lot of turnovers came here in the second half. So now it's how can you get the deceptions, get those second movements off the ball to open up those backdoor feeds, because we saw it. We saw our Scroggins down low. We saw our Edmark down low here in the second half. Those chances are going to come. It just takes a little bit more experience with this very young Bobcat team. On the other side, Manchester West were able to handle the storm. They got out to a great run to start the second half in that third quarter. Really had the outside shots going because they were pressing against Plymouth, and that's really what separated them here this afternoon.
And fans, for those of you watching on Pemmy Baker TV, stay tuned for a post-game interview with Coach Dave Levesque. But for those of you on the Granite State Sports Network, that'll be all. I'm Elliot Miller alongside Dan Salzer, and for our producer Andrew Fenn, thank you for joining us today as the Bobcats fall 47-41. And I am down here with head coach of the girls basketball team, Coach Dave Levesque. And Coach, today, tough loss, but an excellent game played. It is the second time you've played this team this year. What were the adjustments you made after seeing them for the first time?
I think the adjustments were we wanted to move the ball better offensively and get a lot more movement, a lot more passing. They've improved so much from the last couple of years, and they're big and they're strong. So we wanted to try to make them play us a little more defensively. I thought we did that and got a lot more open looks today. Unfortunately, we fell short.
Played a very disciplined game. Only 2 fouls in 3 quarters. Was that something that you guys worked on in practice this week?
I don't think it's something we work on because we foul a lot in practice. I think it was just the way the game was. I think the game was slower than we wanted it to be. But I think that's why you play. You never know what's going to happen with the officiating. I was happy with it. There was no fouls, and they let us play. So it was even both ways if you look at the way the fouls were called.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
I'm Elliot Miller, and for us on Pemmy Baker TV, that'll be all as the Bobcats fall 47-41.